What if the way you drink water, not how much, is the real reason you're waking up at night? After 60, small timing changes can bring deeper sleep without giving up healthy hydration. Peaceful nights often begin with mindful days, even with something as simple as a glass of water. As we grow older, our bodies become wiser, but also more sensitive to daily habits. Many adults over 60 find themselves waking up once, twice, or even more during the night to use the bathroom. While hydration is essential for heart health, brain clarity, and joint comfort, the timing and pattern of drinking water matter more than most people realize. Gentle adjustments in how and when you drink can support better sleep without sacrificing wellness. Tonight's message is not about restriction. It is about awareness, rhythm, and honoring your body's natural balance so you can rest deeply and wake refreshed. And when we speak about front-loading your hydration, there is another layer that often goes unnoticed: the inner climate in which you drink that water. Pairing water with a peaceful mindset transforms a simple act into a subtle practice of self-care. The body does not separate physical intake from emotional state. Every sip is received not only by the stomach, but by the nervous system, the circulatory system, and the delicate hormonal rhythms that guide energy, digestion, and sleep. When you drink in a hurried, distracted state, the body may remain slightly guarded. Muscles hold tension. Breathing becomes shallow. Circulation tightens instead of flowing freely. But when you pause, sit comfortably, and take slow, steady breaths before lifting the glass, something shifts internally. The shoulders soften. The jaw unclenches. The heart rate steadies. In this calmer state, hydration supports circulation more efficiently, allowing nutrients and oxygen to move with less resistance through tissues that sustain strength and mobility. Gratitude deepens this effect in a quiet yet powerful way. A simple inward acknowledgement, appreciation for the clean water, for the body that carries you through the day, encourages a state of ease. This sense of ease gently influences hormonal balance. Stress-related signals diminish, allowing digestive processes to work more harmoniously. The stomach and intestines respond better when the mind is settled, which in turn supports nutrient absorption, stable energy, and even smoother evening rest. Slow movement alongside hydration further enhances this alignment. A few mindful steps. After drinking, a gentle stretch of the spine or relaxed shoulder rolls stimulate circulation without strain. These subtle actions awaken the muscles and joints, supporting flexibility and stability over time. Water nourishes the tissues. Calm movement helps distribute that nourishment. Internal awareness is the true educator here. Notice how your body feels before and after you drink. Observe the difference between hurried gulps and intentional sips. Over weeks and months, this mindful pairing fosters steadier energy, more comfortable digestion, and a quieter nervous system as night approaches. Well-being. After 60 is not built through force. It grows through alignment, where thoughts, breath, posture, and daily habits cooperate. When water is received in a state of calm appreciation, it becomes more than hydration. It becomes a daily reaffirmation that caring for the body begins within, and that inner harmony quietly strengthens the outer body in ways both subtle and profound. This inner harmony becomes even more meaningful when you recognize that hydration is not merely a physical event, but a relational one between mind and body. Each time you reach for water, you are participating in a quiet dialogue with your nervous system. If that moment is wrapped in calm attention rather than distraction, the body interprets it as safety. Safety softens the stress response, and when stress signals quiet down, circulation becomes more fluid and efficient. In a settled state, blood vessels are less constricted, allowing oxygen and nutrients to travel with greater ease to muscles and joints. Over time, this supports natural strength and steadiness in movement. The body thrives in an environment of internal reassurance. Calm thoughts reduce unnecessary muscular tension, which helps preserve mobility and balance. Even subtle shifts in posture while drinking, sitting upright, relaxing the shoulders, breathing deeply, communicate stability to the entire system. Gratitude further refines this internal chemistry. It is not sentimental, it is physiological. When appreciation is present, the brain releases calming signals that influence hormonal rhythms connected to digestion and sleep. The stomach receives water more comfortably, digestive enzymes function more smoothly, and the body is less likely to hold on to tension that interferes with rest later in the evening. A grateful mindset during the day gently prepares the body for a quieter night. Slow movement integrated with hydration deepens this alignment. A brief walk across the room, a gentle rotation of the ankles, or mindful stretching after drinking encourages lymphatic flow and joint lubrication. These small motions help distribute fluids throughout tissues, supporting resilience in muscles and connective structures. Nothing forced, nothing rushed, simply cooperative movement that respects the body's pace. Over months and years, these internal habits shape overall vitality. Emotional steadiness protects energy. A relaxed nervous system conserves strength. Balanced hormonal rhythms support clearer thinking and more restorative sleep. The act of drinking water becomes a daily anchor, an opportunity to return to awareness, to soften the breath, and to realign posture and perspective. Health in the later decades is deeply influenced by these subtle inner adjustments. When thoughts are measured, breathing is steady, and movements are intentional, hydration becomes integrated into a broader practice of self-respect. In that space of attentiveness, circulation flows more freely, digestion works with less strain, and the body carries itself with greater quiet confidence. That quiet confidence deepens when hydration becomes part of a larger ritual of self-alignment rather than a mechanical task. In the later decades of life, the body responds less to intensity and more to consistency. The way you hold the glass, the pace at which you sip, the quality of your breathing in that moment, these are not trivial details. They are signals that guide the internal environment towards steadiness or strain. When water is paired with deliberate stillness, the diaphragm moves more freely. Breathing becomes fuller and slower, gently massaging the internal organs and enhancing venous return to the heart. Circulation benefits not from force, but from rhythm. A relaxed inhale followed by a softened exhale supports vascular flexibility, which influences how comfortably blood travels through the body. This subtle support to circulation contributes to warmth in the hands and feet, steadiness in posture, and sustained physical endurance throughout the day. Calm thoughts create similar ripples. The mind and endocrine system are closely intertwined. Persistent tension can encourage hormonal patterns that leave the body feeling restless or fatigued. When you intentionally cultivate peaceful awareness while hydrating, stress chemistry gradually gives way to more balanced signaling. This steadier internal climate influences digestion in profound ways. The stomach secretes digestive juices more appropriately when the nervous system senses calm. Nutrients are assimilated with less discomfort, and bloating or heaviness may ease as the body works in cooperation rather than defense. Gentle movement alongside hydration strengthens this cooperation. Rolling the shoulders back, lengthening the spine, or taking a slow stroll after drinking supports joint lubrication and muscular elasticity. Water nourishes connective tissue, but movement distributes that nourishment intelligently. Over time, these paired habits can contribute to smoother mobility and reduced stiffness, not through effortful striving, but through respectful engagement with the body's design. Even sleep later in the evening is influenced by these daytime rituals. A nervous system accustomed to calm transitions throughout the day finds it easier to soften at night. The body recognizes the familiar pattern of slowing down, breathing deeply, and releasing tension. Emotional steadiness during simple acts, like drinking water, quietly trains the system to settle when darkness arrives. In this way, hydration becomes more than fluid intake. It becomes a daily practice of internal harmony, reinforcing strength, circulation, digestion, and rest through the gentle power of awareness and intentional care. This daily practice of internal harmony gradually refines the body's responses in ways that are both subtle and deeply influential. When hydration is approached with composure and awareness, the nervous system learns to associate nourishment with safety. That association matters more with age because the body becomes increasingly responsive to emotional tone. A hurried mind can tighten tissues and disrupt natural rhythms, while a settled mind invites cooperation across multiple systems. Consider how posture influences internal flow. When you pause before drinking, gently lengthen the spine and allow the chest to open, you create physical space for the lungs and heart to function more efficiently. Oxygen exchange improves and circulation feels less labored. Over time, this upright yet relaxed stance supports muscular endurance and balance. Strength is not only built in the gym, it is preserved in the quiet alignment of everyday actions. Gratitude during hydration has a regulating effect on the endocrine landscape. Appreciative thoughts stimulate calming neural pathways that temper excess stress signaling. This balanced internal chemistry influences how the body manages inflammation, repairs tissue, and conserves energy. Muscles recover more comfortably when the system is not burdened by chronic tension. Joints feel more cooperative when surrounding tissues are not braced in subtle defense. The digestive system is especially sensitive to mindset. Drinking water with impatience or distraction can keep the body in a mild state of alertness, diverting resources away from optimal digestion. In contrast, slow, attentive sips taken between steady breaths encourage the stomach and intestines to operate with greater rhythm. Enzymatic activity aligns more naturally, and the gentle wave-like motions of digestion proceed without unnecessary interruption. This internal ease contributes to more stable energy and a lighter physical sensation throughout the day. Even mobility reflects these internal shifts. Calm awareness reduces unconscious gripping in the hips, shoulders, and neck. When tissues are not perpetually contracted, movement becomes smoother and less taxing. A short, mindful walk after drinking water enhances joint lubrication and supports lymphatic circulation, helping the body feel refreshed rather than fatigued. As evening approaches, the nervous system recalls the pattern of measured breathing and deliberate pacing practiced throughout the day. The body transitions toward rest with less resistance. Sleep becomes an extension of the same internal order cultivated with each glass of water. An order shaped not by force, but by respectful attention to breath, posture, thought, and the quiet intelligence of the aging body. An order shaped not by force gradually becomes a trusted rhythm within the body. When hydration is woven into that rhythm with attentiveness and composure, it begins to reinforce a deeper sense of stability. Stability in the internal environment influences far more than thirst. It guides how energy is distributed, how muscles engage, and how the mind interprets daily experiences. As you lift a glass of water, allow your movements to be unhurried. Notice the texture of the glass, the temperature of the water, the gentle motion of swallowing. These small sensory acknowledgements anchor awareness in the present moment. Presence quiets mental overactivity, and when mental noise softens, the autonomic nervous system shifts toward restoration. In this restorative state, blood vessels relax, supporting smoother circulation to the extremities and vital organs alike. The heart does not need to work as strenuously when the body is not braced against imagined pressures. Gratitude during this simple act nurtures resilience. Appreciation fosters emotional steadiness, which in turn stabilizes hormonal signaling, connected to metabolism and tissue repair. When the body perceives calm continuity rather than urgency, it allocates resources more efficiently. Muscles feel supported rather than depleted. Connective tissues remain more supple when stress-related tension is not constantly tightening them. This contributes quietly to steadier balance and preserved mobility over the years. Digestion also reflects this alignment. Water consumed in a relaxed state integrates more harmoniously into the digestive sequence. The stomach receives it without abrupt contraction, and intestinal motility follows a more coordinated rhythm. This internal cooperation influences how comfortably nutrients are absorbed and how steadily blood sugar levels are maintained, supporting even energy throughout the day. Slow movement after hydration continues the conversation between body and mind. Gentle arm circles, a mindful rise from the chair, or a brief walk in natural light signal vitality without strain. These movements stimulate circulation and joint lubrication while preserving muscular integrity. Nothing is forced, everything is invited. As these habits accumulate, sleep later in the evening reflects the same cultivated tranquility. The body, accustomed to measured breathing and thoughtful pacing, transitions toward rest with familiarity rather than resistance. Emotional balance during the day becomes physical ease at night. Through consistent internal awareness, hydration evolves into a practice of alignment, reinforcing strength, circulation, digestion, and restorative sleep through the steady influence of a peaceful, attentive mindset. Through the steady influence of a peaceful, attentive mindset, the body begins to trust its own rhythms again. That trust is especially meaningful in the later chapters of life, when internal balance often determines how vibrant and capable one feels from day to day. Hydration, when approached with emotional steadiness, becomes part of a larger language of self-respect, a signal that the body is being cared for with patience rather than pressure. When calm thoughts accompany each sip, the nervous system remains regulated instead of reactive. A regulated system supports smoother hormonal communication between the brain, adrenal glands, thyroid, and digestive organs. These subtle hormonal exchanges influence metabolism, muscle tone, and even the clarity of thinking. Emotional turbulence can quietly disturb these processes, while composed awareness stabilizes them. Over time, this stability contributes to sustained strength and more dependable energy. Circulation reflects this internal composure. Blood flow is not only a mechanical function, it is responsive to emotional tone. Tension can constrict vessels and create subtle resistance, whereas relaxation allows blood to travel with greater ease. When you pause, breathe slowly, and soften your gaze before drinking water, you create conditions that favor vascular flexibility. This flexibility supports warmth in the limbs, steadiness in movement, and a more grounded physical presence. Digestive harmony also deepens under these conditions. The stomach and intestines are highly sensitive to stress signals. Drinking water while mentally scattered may leave the body slightly guarded. In contrast, hydration paired with gratitude and slow breathing encourages digestive secretions and coordinated motility. Nutrients are received more comfortably, and the body expends less energy managing unnecessary tension. This conservation of energy supports resilience and mobility throughout the day. Gentle physical motion after drinking continues to reinforce alignment. A mindful shift of weight from one foot to the other, a gradual extension of the spine, or relaxed neck rotations remind the musculoskeletal system that movement can be fluid and safe. Water nourishes tissues. Mindful motion integrates that nourishment into joints and muscles, supporting flexibility without strain. As evening draws nearer, the internal systems recall this pattern of steadiness. A body accustomed to measured breathing and appreciative awareness carries less accumulated stress into the night. Rest unfolds more naturally when the day has been lived with composure. In this way, pairing water with a peaceful mindset becomes a quiet yet powerful contributor to circulation, strength, digestion, mobility, and restorative sleep, all guided by the enduring wisdom of attentive self-care. All guided by the enduring wisdom of attentive self-care, this final layer invites an even deeper refinement of awareness. Hydration can become a quiet ceremony of alignment, a moment where thoughts, breath, posture, and intention converge in mutual support. In the later decades of life, such convergence carries profound influence. The body listens carefully to the emotional tone that surrounds each action. When that tone is steady and kind, internal systems respond with cooperation rather than resistance. As you bring the glass toward you, allow your breath to settle into a gentle rhythm. Let the inhale expand the ribcage without strain, and let the exhale lengthen naturally. This breathing pattern softly stimulates the vagal pathways that encourage restorative balance within the heart and digestive organs. Circulatory efficiency is supported not through exertion, but through rhythmic ease. Blood moves with less turbulence when the body is not braced, and tissues receive nourishment with greater harmony. Gratitude deepens this internal steadiness. A simple acknowledgement of the body's quiet labor, the heart beating faithfully, the lungs drawing breath, the muscles carrying you, cultivates emotional warmth. Emotional warmth has physiological consequences. It tempers excess stress hormones and fosters biochemical conditions that favor tissue repair and immune steadiness. Muscles feel less guarded. Joints respond with greater fluidity. Even facial muscles soften, reducing subtle strain that can ripple throughout the body. Mental calm during hydration also shapes metabolic balance. When thoughts are measured rather than hurried, the endocrine system maintains more consistent signaling. This steadiness influences how the body utilizes nutrients and preserves energy. Strength is sustained not only by physical effort, but by the conservation that comes from emotional composure. Mobility benefits when muscles are not repeatedly tightened by anxious reflex. Integrating slow movement after drinking further completes the alignment. A relaxed turn of the torso, an easy roll through the feet while standing, or a mindful stroll by a window allows hydration to circulate through connective tissues. Lymphatic flow is encouraged by gentle motion, supporting internal cleansing without strain. Each small action reinforces the message that the body is safe, supported, and respected. As night approaches, this accumulated pattern of internal coherence prepares the system for restorative rest. A nervous system accustomed to calm transitions carries less residual tension into sleep. The day's hydration, received with awareness and appreciation, becomes woven into a broader tapestry of vitality, strengthening circulation, supporting digestion, preserving mobility, and nurturing a steady